So we're out here on the last tiling job, and I am actually standing inside of a drop pipe. And this is where the main line comes into the drop pipe. As you can see, the little slits inside of the 10-inch pipe, that's where the water is going to come in. And when I go to put water back into the pipe, it's actually going to seep back out of it to help water the crops. I'm gonna try to get you down here to see the very end of this pipe. It's way down there. We have a pretty good echo in here. Living a dream. We're gonna install the box that goes into the drain. I'm gonna put PVC pipe coming out from the drain, put the box approximately here, elbow, and then just a short piece of PVC pipe with a T to put water back into the system, and then run a little bit of PVC pipe and then back to the corrugated 10-inch pipe. So that's what I have going. I'm getting ready to start taking this apart and putting it together. Living a dream. When you install your box, make sure it's level. If it's not level, you need to level it. I use just a regular level, and if it's not quite straight up and down, you need to make it straight up and down. Because what will happen is, like anything, you start off unlevel, water won't set in there properly in these gates. It's not critical, but it is something. I mean, anytime you do a job, why not just go ahead and do it right? That's how I feel about it. Do the job right the first time so you don't have a problem. You don't want this thing all crooked sitting in the ground. That looks ridiculous and can affect the way the stop logs or stop log structure is what they call it. It's actually slide gates. Could affect the way the water sets in there or fills up. But anyhow, what this essentially is going to do is, the way it works right now, I have every one of those gates or stop gates put in here, pushed down. They are sealed together. So technically, if we get a bunch of rain, and then I'm talking a lot of rain, to fill up the water underground, if I keep this completely full, that means the water level could be that deep somewhere underground throughout the whole field, well, throughout this part of the field. And as the grade changes through the field, obviously it's going to be more of a straight line underground from here. If you pull with this, they provide you with a piece of aluminum tool here to pull up the slide gates to adjust the height of how much water you want into your system or into your field. If I was to take out the next one from the bottom up to make water go across here and then exit out of the field into here, then there would only be essentially that much water in the field. So from here on the soil level, as you can see, the soil level is about 40 inches from the bottom to the top is about where we're at. This is a 48-inch box. So if I take out that one and pull it up, or not take it out, but just pull it up, pull all of them up except leave the bottom one in, that means we're going to have about this much water left in the field. When you're irrigating back into it, which is my plan also, to not only drain but to irrigate, I will close these down to where I want the water level, which typically we'll pull 3 of them up just like that. So right now we are about 20 inches down or so from the top of the ground, or 18. And that'll give you a reference. So when I start pumping water back in, water starts coming over this to drain. That means the system is currently at capacity or full. If I push down another slide here, that means it's going to be that much deeper throughout the field. What I may do is push them all down, fill it up, and see what happens. This area right here around the box will be saturated if I do that. I know for a fact. I've done it. Not here, but at other fields. But what happens is if I put this slide, pull the slides all the way up just like that, water starts back feeding into the system all through here, and then starts dumping over. I may not be getting water way up there on the upper end of the field, because the field actually does that. It rises up. I believe when I was installing it from this point, which is the low point of the field, all along here, this is where I put the main in, from here all the way up to the other end of the field, which is almost 22,000 feet or so, I think it was, if I remember right. There was about a 2-foot grade difference. So the pipe actually started, say, at like 35 inches deep. It stayed about 35, and then it gradually got up to about 30, I believe, or 31 at the very end of the field, because I was at a 4% slope. And that's what I set the IntelliSlope for, is 4%, because I wanted to be able to keep that level as possible. But the field actually rose up or had an incline of like 1.2 or 1.5% or 0.1. No, it was 1%. So we might have had a 2-foot difference in elevation from the upper end of the field to here. So what I do here may affect way up in the other end of the field. It may not water all the way up there when I'm trying to backfeed water into the system. Because if you watch the video, I think it was the one, that would be one of the last videos I made on this field. We finished up the tiling project with the last line lateral going right through here. So when I backfeed this water, I'm going to put water into here. It's going to come rolling down through that big pipe underground all the way down here. And then once it fills this pipe up, it's going to start going into the lateral lines. Each lateral line is going to then start getting full of water and saturating the soil around it. It's going to keep saturating the soil as more water I pump into it. But again, it can only pump in as much as what, if this box is setting 2 foot lower than the top of that field, then that may not get water up there, the way the grade of the field is. The other big field that we did, the 90-acre field, had almost 0 grade from one end to the other. That's why we put it at the angle we did. That way I could pump water back into it more effectively. So if you look at here, you see that big crack? That is what it looks like after the ground starts settling back over top of the pre-dug hole that we used, or that we put in for the starter. That's what you want. You want to see it settle back down. So yeah, we're about done with this. Just about finished. And this field will be done. With the exception of, I am going to probably come back over top of it and work down these runs, lateral lines that we installed with all the hipped up areas. I'm going to try to smooth them down. So yeah, we're doing things around here, living a dream every day. I will be happy when this is finished. And we're almost there. Living a dream. Just finished putting in the last box, control box, and this is what it looks like. Water's gonna come in here, and go that way and backfeed into the field. That's the plan. And there's the drain on the lower end of the control box. Living a dream.